guys. We are here now to talk about Beck's book, To the Center of the Earth. Basically, this novel is a pastiche, I believe it's called like that, of um, of the journey to the center of the Earth, based on the stories by Jules Verne. Okay, what you've got here is a story that follows the same logic, the same flow. Group of adventurers go to a place where there are um, some information that a woman has descended in the cave in Russia, where you can go down 7,000 um, not meters but yards. Yeah, I believe it's yards. This is in the first. The prologue is in 1973 in Krubera cave in the Western Caucasus, former Soviet Union. The first chapter, which is it's a bit strange because the prologue supposedly is in this time, and then we go to the future, to the now present. It made it's very hard because why did the writer wrote the prologue on the first chapter and this the before and now the latter? It makes no sense. It should be only one chapter, but yeah, that's not the problem here. From that expedition, only a person survived, and she says that she had to stay down on Earth for a year and saw strange things. They never elaborate a lot of that in that. Then we follow six characters, um, including Mike Moreau, enthusiastic um, of this type of climbing, not climbing but caving. Um, then he goes with his friends, six friends, to beat the world record. Um, and then we follow his six characters. In the beginning, it's very interesting to know how they work their way around the caves. How does it feel? Like I learned stuff like they have to uh, make peas and poops in bags so they can bring outside so they don't pollute the mountain and such. Um, and that part was cool to know about a little more. And then there was the story itself. Um, to be honest, um, that was my favorite part because Greig here had to make the world plausible. Okay, in Jules Verne's novel, if you have read it, you understand a bit of it. There is a world, hollow Earth, where is the world, and there are dinosaurs and such. Here, he went a bit different. Okay, basically, um, he tried to explain that Earth, as we know, and we as primates and such, only evolved due to 500 million ago. Something changed, and the dominant species were our ancestors. Um, but in this world, um, the ones who won was not our ancestors, and that's the difference. And so we go. He tries to explain, tries a bit to explain how this come to be. Okay, he tries to explain. Imagine that there was some kind of meteor, something that basically smash against the earth. Things went down there where there it was hollow, partial hollow, and and supposedly due to that, evolution went in a different way as we know uh, nowadays, now humanity. Uh, we know that caves, for example, have different uh, animals that went in another way in terms of evolution, like um, animals that are blind because they are in the darkness, or pale, completely pale due to, and again, darkness, and so on. We know that evolution changes in terms of due to situations like New Zealand or Australia. Animals are different than African or European and such. That's evolution, and so Greig tries to explain a little bit about this. Even one of the characters is a biologist, so uh, she is there just to, okay, this resembles that. Maybe it's evolution and so on. She's basically encyclopedia of alternate history, alternate biology stuff. Um, but there are things I didn't enjoy and I could not believe it. Um, First of all, we don't really, for what I could gather, the consensus is that Earth is lava, basically. And that makes the world spins, okay, the magnetic field and so on. I'm not a biology, no, uh, uh, um, a geologist, so I can't speak for it. But for what I understand, is like this: there is a magnetic field due to uh, the rotation of the Earth, rotation of the core, and so on. There is even a movie called The Core that deals a bit about this. Um, but this is just not consensus. Not There are scientists that don't believe this, or because nobody went um, down to the earth, or even at the top of the earth, because in the top, not top, the besides the normal layers, the first layer, nobody went down there, because look like this. The distance between the center of the earth to where we live is around 6,000 miles. Okay, 6,000 miles. The biggest um, cave, or the biggest place we can go so far, for what I could gather, and this is the biggest cave we can travel, is 7 miles. I don't know if it's 7 miles. Don't quote me on that, but I know that Mariana Trenches is 11 miles. So 11 miles to 6,000 miles is a lot. The pressure, the heat, um, all of this is make almost impossible for now to people to go further down, even if there is a way. I don't know. Um, and there are stuff I didn't knew, like as far as you go, the pressure and the pressure increases. I knew that there became it more hot, okay, because of some movies that talk about mining and such, but not the pressure. I didn't know. Um, so it tries to explain this. How can you travel from to 6,000 miles and down the earth? Jules Verne never talks about this. He talks there is a world beneath, but he really never says how many miles and how did they get there and so on. Um, and so one of the things he says, and he tries to convey that there is like a highway from the caves to the center of the earth, called let me check, gravity well. Sorry, I had to check it up. These gravity wells, it's a highway, and they travel 250 miles per hour and such. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, uh, we don't know. Probably you could even have a elevator down there. We don't know. But okay, I can live with that. But then, as they went in the world is far dangerous than our world. Like the animals evolved from other previous Earth animals, and they are very dangerous. And our adventures begin dying, and so on. Everything is really trying to hurt you, and so on. One of the interesting stuff is that the characters ourselves are not very interesting, to be honest. We've got the main character, as I said, his name. Um, then you've got six other characters that you can easily swap because they are characters that you've seen in other novels, probably in thrillers and such, like the love interest, the evil guy, the the, the Russian um, dude that is Russian, and you know how he will behave. It's like we are seeing and hearing this, and you know, okay, this is going to happen to this character, and you already know who is going to be saved or not, and so on. Not all characters will live, and you probably will know immediately after two, 3 or 4 chapters who will survive. Um, he, they are not, as I said, they are not that good. Okay, it's not like Jules Verne's where everyone lives or so. Here, it's the other one. It's always adversaries, and there are some unbelievable stuff, biology. But and that part was interesting. Okay, because thinking about it, we as humans live here now because all this stuff before happened, and maybe if that meteorite that supposedly killed the dinosaurs didn't happen, probably will be different or not be at all. Um, Probably if the oxygen level would be higher or lower, we would be different physically and probably mentally. And that's very interesting to understand that the animals were very big because of the oxygen levels, and then when you change that, the animals that are big die, and so on. And that part, I believe Greg Beck went in the right direction. Okay, we imagine how would some animals evolved if they could have evolved, and to me that's the point we should take from this novel. Apart from that, I will not recommend this book to anyone unless they want a thriller and fast-paced thriller that could read in a couple of days. I've read it in 3 days, and I don't read that much per day. I read around 50 pages. So, and the last day I read 100 pages because it was very fast-paced. Um, then there are some other stuff I didn't enjoy, like some comic situations when there is nothing comic to know. Um, then another thing was these guys went down there, 6 people. They want to break the record to go below Earth. Why? And this is 2020. They've said this is 73 and 50 years later. So how nobody has a camera, nobody has a phone, nobody has some kind of device that records stuff. This is something that upsets me a lot in thrillers, that the characters are so intelligent in one way, and then the writer does something that so stupid that makes no sense. So why? Why didn't they bother to get evidence they are going down there? How would they record they were down there? Probably a machine that would tell them, okay, you've gone down X feet. I don't know. And if that's possible, that machine didn't work down the in this if they were 6 miles, 6 miles, 6,000 miles down the earth, didn't work. Wasn't it a proof? I don't know. It's very stupid. And then and then the writer is, as I've said, the novel is not that great. There are some plot holes, very stupid plot holes. I don't remember. And then the character, our main character, this is a nitpick. In the last couple of pages, they return to the service, and and he says, "Okay, goodbye, X, Y, Z," and forgets his best friend's name. What did you forget? Did the writer forget about him? What happened here? Then there is another part that was intelligent life, as we know, evolved, as I said before, like various situations evolved to us, humanity. But how would intelligence work down there? That's another thing that I really enjoyed. It talks there in the last 20 or 30 pages, there are something like that. But why did they resemble Roman stuff? It makes no sense. Unless Romans were there, it makes no sense. Okay, humanity is so different, and you will not find some Roman stuff in Mexico, and it's in the same, not the same continent, but imagine Roman and Nordic. They are different cultures, therefore different buildings, different ways of seeing, different language, and so on. How could those beings that evolved down there add some Roman stuff, or Romanish stuff? It makes no sense. Either way, should you read this book? If I said, if you enjoy thrillers, if you enjoy fast-paced thrillers and something to read in between novels, go for it. This is the first novel. There is a sequel that Greg Beck wrote. It's called. Let me check. Sorry, because I don't know. I don't have the name. It's Return to the Center of the Earth. Basically, they return. And even the author itself, Greg Beck, has a couple of other novels, thriller novels, and one of his thriller novels is called In the Search of the Lost World, Primordia series. This one is a trilogy, and I believe this one went another way. Okay, like Jules Verne went down under, and the creator, Arthur Doyle, went another way, Lost World, in terms of something that they discover in South America. And so you could go this way. Okay, this writer writes a lot of books in this kind of themes of thrillers. Like he has one, it's Phantomless and Abyss. Then he's got some, and this is the first time I noticed him back in 2010. This Beneath the Dark Eyes, Dark Rise, and This Green Hell, and so on. They're Alex Hunter novels. I believe there are 8 novels. I never bought them because they are very expensive. Even this one was very expensive, like $11, $11 or euros, and to me that's very expensive. They are from Severed Press. Either way, if you enjoy this novel, if you enjoy thrillers, if you enjoy Journey to the Center of the Earth, buy it, no problem. Don't expect a feasible science, don't expect feasible characters, because you will not find them there. But just for the sake of biology, just for the sake of that alternate reality, I would advise them. But this cover sucks a lot. This doesn't happen. Okay, they are. If you they are going down with some cables. They went down with cables. They went, like I said, gravity wells. This makes no sense. Why discover? They could have put here some animal, strange animal, some character and escaping some animal, and we will get some information how these characters or these characters are, or at least how these beasts are, because we have to imagine them, and will bet that will be cool. But this thing makes no sense. And another thing that makes no sense is that the habitable world is here in the center of the earth, as I said, um, and beneath it there is lava. That's the way it's very red, and the color is red. Okay, all people see red. How did lava stay there? They tried to explain it. It didn't stick to me. It's very, very, very. I don't know. Either way, um, thank you for listening me, and a bit of a rant. I would give, and I am giving this 2 stars out of 5 in Goodreads, just because of that biology part. Apart from that, I can't do it, and I will not continue in this series. Okay, maybe I'll try another series by him, but not this series, because I don't care about these characters. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day.